I personally come from a story or background where I was highly active in my mind all day long and not at all embodied. So in my profession, out of my private desperation, I became pretty obsessed with exploring the depth and even some radical definitions of embodiment. Reconnecting myself with my body in a way that it's even more accurate to say I am my body, or I want to become my body because I am my body anyway. I want to experience from being my body instead of being somewhere and having a body. And this ongoing exploration of the depth of embodiment leads to some at least new questions around the nature of mind that might be not that popular or not that much discussed or not that well known. And I would be very curious about opening discussions around the nature of mind, even when it goes into spiritual fields or spiritual terminologies from a state of embodiment. I think we fall short if we say the mind is something where the spiritual teachers talk about and the body workers talk about the body. Because at the end of the game, we are talking about deepening aliveness in a radical sense. And every argument where we say, oh, this is my discipline and this is your one, has to fall short, has to be naive compared to the dimension of the project that we are in with different disciplines and with different experts from different fields. So I want to share in this video about my current thesis about the mind. The mind is often called the monkey mind, and its nature is called to be wandering around. Sometimes this observation and saying, oh, it's just the monkey mind, comes with the saying, the mind is designed for survival. And this is why it doesn't stop. So this, I'm sorry to say that, but seems to be highly irrational for me. Everything that is designed for survival is designed for the as a maximum intelligence around where to spend my energy and where and when to spend my time and where and when not. So if the mind would be designed for survival, it would use its own energy in such an incredible, efficient way. But thinking something like 60,000 negative, unnecessary thoughts during a morning of a normal Western culture, civilization, person, human being member, whatever, doesn't make any sense. We can't justify this amount of wasted mind energy around problems that will never happen that way. We can't justify or explain that at all with anything that is close to survival. I would say quite the opposite. A mind that doesn't stop is a mind being deeply distorted or perverted around its natural design that might in the end work well for survival, but is somehow that confused that it uses its energy and its potential in a way that doesn't live up to what a mind could be about. And I think we observe this phenomenon with many aspects that we see in human beings. Let's come from another thing that I'm curious about, and that is rage. We say, oh, if I become angry, I know exactly what I do. I scream around, I traumatize everybody around, and at the end of the day, I'm depleted. That's not true. I hear you, I hear myself when I'm telling myself a story, but what I say is the outcome of my rage is not the outcome of my rage. It's the outcome of my suppressed rage coming up anyway. So what I consider to be the effect of my rage is not the effect of my rage, but the effect of me fighting against my rage while it wants to move as a wave of energy. It's me suppressing the energy that wants to come up. How would I act? How would I be? What would I do if I become angry without fighting the anger in that moment? I have no fucking idea. The only thing is, I have no idea because the only thing that I learn to do with my rage is suppressing it and being afraid of it while it moves in me. Being terrified by it moving in me anyway and me losing control. And this makes the problem. Me having to stay in a state of control while something wildly alive happens in me, while my instincts, while my design in my nervous system wants to take over. And this is where the misunderstanding and the wrong conclusions at the end of the day come from. Coming back to the mind thing, let's translate this rage and suppressed rage matrix to the mind. What we say is the design of the mind is not the design of the mind. No matter, I'm aware of 7 or 8 billion people around me perceiving the same mind that I perceive. However, this is not the nature of mind. It's the nature of a traumatized, collectively traumatized nervous system with its kind of symptoms on every level of my being, on every level of my life. How I digest, how I experience rage, how I experience love, and how I perceive my own thinking. So the mind is not a monkey mind. And even if we human beings would just be as natural and as instinctive as monkeys, we would have a way better life. We would have so much more fun, and we would be so much more intelligent, because the human mind is amazing in its potential. But we somehow can't live up to that, because a traumatized nervous system keeps burning the biggest amount of energy for unnecessary things. And then it's not about saying the mind may do its stupid or survival or intelligent job anyway because I am not my mind, or my body might die because I am not my body. It's not about those spiritual bypassing things. It's about staying in a blind trust into some amazing potential of the mind. And in order to discover that, leaving the level of the mind, leaving the level of thoughts, surrendering deeply to embodying myself more and more, wanting to become as much my body, wanting to be my body so much that I could even have no mind and it would be okay because I am so much my body. And from there, such an amazing and touching design of the human mind comes into my awareness, comes back into my awareness. And that is the mind being an organ of receptivity, living up to its potential when it's that relaxed that it listens to the whole universe, that it listens so much to the outer world that it suddenly listens to itself in a deep sense of silence that is not me staying silent and not breathing because I'm trying to meditate, but it's listening with so much, being in such a natural sense of awe, perceiving so many magic things around. I think the 100% potential of mind is way better seen or maybe envisioned when we talk in terms of amazement. The mind's design is being in awe, being amazed. And we need an organ for being amazed because this life is fucking amazing. Let's have something that is designed for prayer, designed for silence that is so loud, so vibrating with magic. And at the end of this video, I want to say how I want to define survival. We talk about survival in the sense of, let's at least slow down the climate change. And when we ask for at least slowing down with collective effort the climate change, we deeply devaluate our worthiness and our potential around those things. Let's define survival not as the death with a bit less of suffering, or a bit less, at least, awareness of our own suffering. Let's define survival as I need my space for miracles. Without magic, there is no sense in surviving. There is no survival if it isn't being in awe. In the same way, like, I need to be in awe. I need to be amazed. I need to be in silence. I need to be in love with existence. So I think, yes, the mind is designed as a monkey mind because we are not less intelligent than monkeys, but as intelligent as monkeys. Let's live up to that by healing our mind from this trauma symptom of ongoing, unnecessary, making up problems that will never happen that way. And yes, the mind is designed out of survival. And it's a basic ingredient for survival, that we live a life in awe and in a deep praying listening to existence around us and within us. I think the mind is designed for survival because it's our potential of being amazed and deeply in a deep bow to existence.